To be honest, there's not much I really want to say about this week's Boruto episode. It's the aftermath of a big arc. That's basically all it is. We start off with the characters immediately being back in the Leaf Village, which honestly, considering that we haven't been there in a while, is kind of refreshing, because it kind of just feels like we've been seeing a lot of the very similar areas, and it's just kind of, like, at least it's different, because we haven't seen it in, like, fucking 6 months. I don't know, it was kind of weird. Anyways, so essentially, just what ends up happening in this episode is Boruto and Kawaki have a little bit of a difference in agreements with how they should be handling the situation with Ikeda, because he ultimately ended up at the end taking charge and leading the Funato to go do what they were about to do, which was destroy the machine for the Mist Village to be able to take control of the ocean. Also, Arayumi isn't dead, which I thought he was, and honestly, maybe he should be, but whatever, I guess he's not. I honestly thought that Kawaki killed him in the last episode. I guess he's alive, which, I don't know, and that didn't really make much sense to me. But ultimately, just what ends up happening is that Boruto and Kawaki have their differences. They don't agree with each other whatsoever. Naruto talks with Boruto, and Boruto talks about like what his thought process was at the time when he was trying to talk it out with Ikeda, and it basically was very similar and harkens back to how Naruto and Sasuke were back in Naruto Part 1 and Shippuden. And what ends up happening, but pretty much just by the end of the episode, is Ikeda's going back to with Kajiki, the shipbuilder guy that Ikeda worked with when we first saw him, and he's going to be placed under surveillance and going to be building shit with Kajiki. And Boruto and Kawaki end up fighting at the end of the episode, and the only reason why I liked it was because it harkened back once again to it was during the Five Kage Summit arc, where Sasuke mentions how two people can get across their feelings and thought process more in a battle than they can by actually speaking with one another. And that was essentially what Naruto was trying to do with Boruto and Kawaki, which I liked. You know, I liked how, you know, pretty much they get their thoughts and emotions out there in the fight instead of just talking out with one another, because they're just not the type of people to really be able to speak their minds too clearly with one another, because they're just so vastly different from one another. But that's basically it. That's just all that ends up happening within the episode. There's not really much else to talk about. It's the aftermath of a huge arc and a huge like thing that happened with the characters, and that's kind of it. I don't really have much else to say. It was fine. The animation was really awkward because, I mean, if you just fucking look at it. But whatever, it's fine. The episode was whatever. I'm just glad that it's all finally done and we can move on to other stuff that's hopefully infinitely more interesting towards, because towards the tail end of this arc, I just was, I didn't give a shit. I didn't want to talk about it anymore. I wanted it to end. That's it though. Next week we're going to be going to, doing some stuff with the Ina Shikacho trio with Inojin, Chocho, and Shikadai. So, if you know how I feel about Chocho, then you know that I'm not all too excited about it. And what Inojin and Chocho end up talking about in the previews as well, they talk about how they like doubt their what's it called? They doubt their involvement within the team, because Shikadai is, you know, a tuning at this point, and they think that they're not good enough and that they're holding him back. But we already know what the fucking case is. We've seen this fucking type of scenario 1,000 times, or at least it feels like we've seen it like 1,000 times. Whatever. It's fucking like whatever. I don't really want to talk about it. We'll get to it when we get to it. I just think that this is just something that we've already seen before, and I'm kind of annoyed that we're going to see something like it again. But whatever. Anything to get away from all the stupid shit that we've been seeing for the past like fucking 5 months. Anyways, that's the video. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Go check out my previous video because it was a YouTube short, and it's actually kind of doing pretty well right now. Which, I mean, I guess it just means that I hit the algorithm pretty decently. So hopefully it keeps doing really well. It seems like people are really enjoying it. So yeah, like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next one. I'm out. Peace.